I get to the question, sir,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering. There's the issue of the family business. You know, the growth of the family business in the African setting. How would you say that would play out? Because you see, for the Jews and the Chinese and the Indians, their growth, their business growth of the SMEs has grown largely because of the family business. So how is that translating on the African continent? Because probably that's why we're having such a problem, because it's just sole entrepreneurship, and when the man dies, that's it.
Very well. Let me throw that to Benedict, because Tanzania is known for ujamaa, Benedict. And having ujamaa, the question is, do we have more family businesses in Tanzania, or what is your experience with Tanzania, Benedict? You're muted, Benedict. You may need to unmute yourself. All right,
can you hear me?
Go ahead now. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much, Geoffrey. Honestly speaking, in Tanzania, this thing called the family business is not working here. Because what we have in our business, especially in Tanzania, we have only a first generation. You cannot find fourth and third generation. This is different. You know, most of these Indians, at least Indians, and they have this fourth generation. But in Tanzania, if your father used to be a businessman, once he passed away, the business has gone also. Because this family issues, this family business, as I said before, this entrepreneurial mindset is not going down from the base there to these young sisters and brothers. Because what we are believing, this is Africa, but here in Tanzania, what we are believing, from the time we grew up, we believe in a working with these collar white jobs. Because even myself, from where I came from, my father, my mother, they told me, if I want to be successful in life, I need to be a doctor. I should be a doctor or a teacher, you know. So even the mindset, the way we create our children, they don't believe in business. So it's hard to go to the fourth generation or third generation. That's why you find out all of the third generation business or family business is owned by these Indians and the Wazungus. That's all. White collars. But for us, we are looking for white collars job. I want to be a doctor. I want to work for a bank. So automatically, we cannot manage family business because our mindset, our parents, they didn't train us to believe as safe employment, as a safe career for us to run our lives. So it's very difficult.
Thank you, Benedict. There's a question from, actually it's a question, I don't know how to approach this, but I'll throw it to Joe. Then again, someone can answer it as well between Benedict and Norua. He says, how do you reconcile between those entrepreneurs that are pushed into business and those that are pulled to business? Joe, there are people, you talked about the models, but question is, there are those that are pushed into business by their parents, those that are being pulled into business, even by pressure with COVID-19. There are those that are finding themselves in business because there's no job. There are no jobs. Joe, how do you reconcile that?
Thank you, Jeff. And just to say that maybe where you are coming from, as I said, people get into business with different intentions, from different angles of pressure. Like you have said, there are people who are being pushed because there's nothing that they can do right now. There are no employment. I think the point of reconciliation here is for someone looking at themselves. Looking at themselves, because not every business, not everyone who can do any other business. Everyone is wired. There's a way someone is wired to do certain types of business. And most importantly, like maybe the skills that you have, what skills do you have? What skills have you acquired over time? Because many of the people who have succeeded in business are people who have maybe a certain level of experience from the same trade, I know of people who are employed in certain industries, and when they left, they began such business, and they succeeded because they have the path, they know the source, they understand the rules of engagement. So the point of reconciliation is that people who have no passion, people who have no skill about a certain business, they will definitely fail. And that is why, Jeff, we have 58% of Kenyan businesses failing. That is where we are getting that percentage. People who are even pushed into business by their parents. And this is what I said, due to lack of proper mentorship. A man have been a business mogul for the longest time. But when he is just about to die, is when he begins putting his children into business. And these children, or this son, supporting Ray because he didn't have any interest in the business of his father. He wanted to become a DJ. So the father is struggling, introducing this young man into business, but the man wants to be a DJ. So what happens to this man? And I'm not saying a DJ to downgrade the DJs in those people have money. I'm just saying that to show a different line of interest from what the father wants. So, and businesses in Africa, Jeff, have become like the indigenous Christian marriages. It's what we say, it's until death do us part. When the man dies, the business is dead. Why? These people have not given their sons enough time, their children, their successors, enough time to learn the trade, like we say the Asians. And allow me also to say here, Jeff, Ben has, like Norua has said, African model has not worked for Africans. And why has African model not worked for Africans? Number one is because of our culture. In Africa, we have no culture of honesty. In Africans, we are not honest. Yes, you get into a partnership with someone. The next time you either lose your life, you lose your money, or you lose a friend. And because of that, African model have not worked. And I agree with Norua what he said, that in order to be successful in business, we have to look at a model that works for us. So bringing all this together, Jeff, we can say that people need to get into business with the right intention, with the right skills. And if you have no skills, get ready and be taught on how to do a certain business. Otherwise, you are about to fail.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joe. I want to bring in Mr. Mutio because he had promised to share with us something. And I want to throw a question to him. Mr. Mutio, like I said, is a master trainer developer. He has more than, I think, 30, 40 years experience. They are the ones who began the ILO, SIYB, Start and Improve Your Business training in Kenya. And he's worked in Pakistan, he's worked in Southern Sudan, Kenya, Geneva, Switzerland. Mr. Mutio, what is the place of training for entrepreneurs, especially in Africa? Please.
I want to say that this is a very useful discussion you're having. I'm listening to I can't pronounce his name, from Nigeria.
Norua.
With very good ideas. Benedict from Tanzania, Joe from Kenya, and the others. And I feel that this is I don't know why this debate has not been on before. Maybe we are the one to blame because we could also have initiated. But thank you very much for initiating this. I think this is a very useful debate or discussion. Training for me is key. We have touched on a lot of things in terms of why businesses fail or why businesses do well. But training is core. We have to learn to train ourselves. We look at the Indian community, and I think most of you have given that example. The Indians will sit with their children in the house and they train them to run business. I went to school with the Indian students in a school in town where the Indians came, but they didn't pursue the school for many years. After a few years, they went back and they went to stay with the business, and they learned about business. And today, I've seen, and you have seen yourself somewhere, they have managed to do very well. So that training does not only need to be done in a classroom training. It can be done at home. It can be done through mentorship. It can be done through many other ways. But I think what is important is for us to know that there's always room to learn something. And I like the idea that Norua was bringing. There's nothing like adopting the African model. We have to go global. Let's go global. Let's look for what works well. Can we borrow ideas from here and from there and put them together and be more successful than those other people? That is one. Two, within our African context, we don't respect our competition. We are supposed to understand our competition. We are supposed to work with our competitors. We are supposed to learn something from our competitors. And learning from your competitor doesn't mean that you have to go and sit on the table and eat with a competitor in a restaurant so that you can learn something from. You can use a lot of other means to learn. And then you can see how you can also work together. Indians work together. They work together. They work in very close, communities, and they support one another. In Africa, I'm not so sure we do that quite a lot. When you try to do business guys who have been in business for many years, they'll say, what is this guy trying to do now? He wants to compete with us, which I think it is really very wrong attitude. So we need to really embrace this. And I don't know how you wanted me to talk about training, but there are so many, and you guys are a source of information for all kinds of training going on. But for me, the most important training we can give today is mentorship. Wow. We can give a lot of training, but mentorship for me is key. If you look at the informal sector, we have so many guys there who have not gone to school. If you ask them to come to class for 1 week, they will not understand that. If you sit down with them and say, do you know how you are doing your business? Do you know why your business is failing? Just by talking to them and giving them that opportunity to listen, and for you to listen to them, I believe you can help them a lot. So I would want to think this is the way we should go. And as well as COVID is teaching us today, we don't have to wait. We started this chat now because of COVID, but this should have been started many years ago. Mm-hmm. And we could have done this. So let's not wait to go into a classroom and be trained. Let's find ways, innovative ways, creative means of training people, passing knowledge sharing. We talked, there was an example given, I can't remember who gave it, but these South African kids doing that. We had a very good program in Kenya where we were training children on how to set up businesses, and we give them money, actual money. They go and buy materials, they make whatever, and then we have an organized forum, knowledge sharing, where they come and sell, and we can see the skills. You can even look at how young people can start selling, negotiations and all this. And this is a way to train them. I know that we said we talked about training with SIYB. SIYB can be used anywhere. There's a program called KAB. KAB has been used in universities in Egypt. Universities have taken that. There are guys, engineers, who don't know anything about business. They are going to go out there. They want to set up themselves as businesses. Where do they start? An integration of entrepreneurship within their curriculum. Universities have done that. So training can cut across. And I think for us in Africa, we need to train one another in so many different ways. So let me stop there before I start preaching.
Thank you. Thank you, Julius. Of course, you're giving us a lot of wisdom that we need. Thank you very much. We talking about learning. I want to really appreciate, because when we started these Zoom meetings, I began with 20 people. We went to 30. Today, today we were like 60, 62. I've hosted 65, and I truly appreciate, because Africans don't value knowledge. like Julius is saying, and seeing people sit for an hour listening to, to panelists talk about business is truly to see how we've grown. But again, we need to value knowledge, not just to join free Zoom meetings, but also to buy knowledge. Even the good book, the Bible says, buy knowledge and sell it. So I totally support that, and it's important. Now, there's something that you brought in, and Johnny, I know you had a question on succession. Could you kindly throw that in so that we can give it to the panelists to answer?
The thing is, right now we are going through stuff in Kenya, seeing the big retailers like Nakumat and Tusk is going down, and the issue has been largely about succession. Now, the thing about succession, that's what I was talking about, the family business, is because handing over a family business is handing over, something like I had a man say, I found this interesting, and the guy was saying, if your father was a heavyweight champion of the world, and on his deathbed, he bequeathed it to you. He gave you the title. Said, now from today, my son, you are the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. I mean, your guess is as good as mine if you had to defend the title. So the same thing is happening on the end. Us guys, we are building big companies and then handing over to novices to run them. So I'm just wondering, is there a business model? Is there something that we can do, being that most of us right now are first generation businesses? Most of us, even the people that are listening right now, are first generation businessmen. So what kind of businesses are we going to be giving to our children? Because we understand we're not just passing over businesses, we are passing over values. So what is your opinion on that, Sas?
Very good. I will draw this to Norua. Norua, this is about succession, and Julius has brought in a very interesting aspect of worked on business. And also, because someone would say here, but I'm not old, right? But I'm not old, I'm still young, I'm still running my business. But is there something that we should know about preparing our next of kin to take over business, like Johnny is asking, and what is supposed to be done?
Thank you very much. Well, I think the place to even start that conversation is the business owner himself. You can be in business with a transactional mindset. In other words, you're just looking to pay your bills and that's where it ends. So the business owner himself, what mind does he have regarding the business? Because it is, if you think that what you are doing would outlive you, that's when the conversations about succession begins to make sense. So I think that the very first question to ask would be, how do I as a business owner, how do I see what I'm doing? Do I see this as something that is beyond bread and butter? Do I see this as something that is beyond just paying my bills? You know what I mean? So because like somebody said, the push and the pull, some of us go into business, not because we have a lofty idea, it's because we need to make ends meet. I don't know if you're getting it. That's what I'm really interested in. I just want to eat. I want to be able to, break away from poverty. All right. So if I'm at that level, succession is like going to the moon or Mars. So, but if you then successfully, create something, maybe at some point, now you've eaten, you are full, and there's some more money left, you might begin to think of, the issues of legacy can then begin to knock on the door of your heart. And then when that happens, then conversations about succession can then begin to make sense. So it's a journey, all right? You're not going to get to that point unless you cross the initial milestones. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We're coming to a close of this discussion, and before we get to that, kindly everyone give us like 5 minutes to be done. I have to ask Benedict a question of the effect of COVID-19 to businesses, and what should entrepreneurs do now to make sure that they stay afloat, and especially to avoid closing shop. Benedict.
Thank you, Geoffrey. But it should be very clear, COVID-19 has affected a lot business people in Tanzania. I know most of you guys, especially participants, they want to hear from Tanzania because you believe we don't have COVID-19 in Tanzania. And this should be very clear. We have COVID-19 in Tanzania. Hello?
Go ahead, Benedict.
Yes, we have COVID-19 in Tanzania.
Yes.
What is going on is just the government just stands on their own, but we have COVID-19 in Tanzania. And how this COVID-19 affects SMEs, business people in Tanzania. First of all, business is not a man, one a show. It is a value, value of chain. It's a connection of so many things into business. So,
Yes.
for example, today, we have these corporate companies. They close up. They are working from home. And it should be very clear, because these people who are working for maybe, good example, Vodacom, it's like Safaricom there in Kenya. Nowadays, they're working from home. But the same people, the same employees who are working for Vodacom are the people who they're going for lunch for these mamanterias, for these small restaurants. Now they're working from home. So what about this restaurant? They cannot sell.
Yes.
It's COVID. So it should be very clear. COVID has affected. So what entrepreneurs should do so that they can run their business? First of all, they need to make a right decision and need to get a proper information about COVID-19. You know, these social networks, it has affected, and most of these social networks, they don't prompt out proper information about COVID-19. So the entrepreneurs now, they are just following the information. They're just following wrong information about this COVID-19. So what they can do now, they have to change. They have to change the way they are doing their business. It should be changed. One, they are not supposed now to wait for the client to come for their business. They have to think in a different way, how they can sell now their products, their services to the people who are working from home. Because no matter what, people, they need service. People, they need food, they need everything. So they have to change now. And they need to invest more now in their business, in terms of technology, in terms of innovations. They need to change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benedict, are you done?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Joe, as we come to close, is there there's someone who is saying capital or availability or lack of availability of capital is one of the greatest impediments to business sustainability in Africa. What's your take on that, and what should entrepreneurs do? And I'm asking this because we have seen governments pledging money. If I was to touch on Nigeria, for example, the Nigerian government is so so interesting. Let me just give you the figures right now, because I had them somewhere. Yeah, Nigeria has approved $268 million in soft loans to support startups, SMEs, MSMEs, business leads, and all that. And maybe as we close, Norua will tell us whether that money gets to the people. Kenyan government has spent 503 million, that is 53.7 billion shillings, to revive the economy, and that is supposed to go to the entrepreneur. What is your take about capital availability, and whether people have a place to run to save their businesses in search for capital? I'm on Joe.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you. Yeah. I think the issue of capital, yes, as you have indicated, is an area that needs to be considered, because many of these businesses, many businesses that are supposed to benefit from these finances and from this funding, most of the time they don't get it, and for several reasons. One of the reasons is that some of these reasons, they are the rules of engagement. There's what people are supposed to have. There's the place that they're supposed to meet with the government, and you realize that most of our businesses have legality issues. We have legal issues. You know, most of our businesses, you might find a very, very, very big business. And just you bear me witness that most of the businesses that are being done in a big way, you know, are not from the learned people. Actually, majority of the big fish in the world of business are not formally educated. And because of this, you find a courage on documentation. They just draw money and purchase these. They take money. They pay these, and because of that, you find that when it comes to the time of benefiting from this funding, it's not a fund that you just go into the bank and get. They require you to give documentation, your bank statement, all that, and sometimes you don't have what it takes. So I think there's a need of us, the SMEs, to keep proper documentation, even if it means just just making sure that you engage a professional. Maybe you can even seek the advice or the services of an accountant just to make sure that your records are clear. Something else is, like I said, the legal issue. Some of these businesses are still operating under business names, or you know, they are not limited companies. Some of them are still just operating from individual names, and you find that there's a very difficult. The government will find it difficult maybe to trade with these people. Another thing is the issue of collateral. You find that some of the people who are supposed to benefit from this money, they cannot face the required collateral, the required security. Maybe because of the struggling, the business are still struggling. And due to this, you find that this money is not really getting to the right people. And when they get the money, as I said from the beginning, Jeff, you find that our culture, we have a problem with our values. We have a problem with honesty. We find that you find ourselves getting the money and misdirecting the money. We divert the money. You get the money to stock your business, but you first want to do something else. You want to buy a car. There's something that you need to do with the money. And you find that the business will continue struggling. And that makes Africa and Kenya, as it were, continue struggling. The SMEs continue struggling. So I think we need to make things right. We need to operate in a very logical way, in a very professional way. And for some people who are in business in a big way, and they have not maybe any training, I think they should invest in such training as this one. As Norua was saying, we need to get some education. We need to get some training on this, and just know how we can run our empires and handle it to the next generation. As you said, my parting shot here is that the people who are supposed to be handing over the business or passing on, as Johnny has said, the baton of the business to the next generation, they must not wait until they die. You can begin preparing your children early enough and begin mentoring them early enough, develop the necessary structures and working systems so that even when you are done, even when you are gone, you still keep your legacy. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much, Joe. Before I go to Norua and Benedict for their parting shot, allow me to ask Fayo from Nigeria to just say a word, maybe in 1.5 minutes. Fayo, can you hear me? All right. Okay, you may need to check your speaker, check your audio on the other side, Fayo. I can see you trying to say something, but we can't hear you.
Now?
Okay, good. We can hear you, Fayo. Say kindly a word for people to hear.
Yes, I would like to thank all the panelists today. It's been an awesome discussion. And if we can sustain this kind of discussion, we can find true solutions to African problems. And I believe that our problems are common because our culture is similar. The other thing I would like to say is that record keeping is at its lowest ebb amongst most entrepreneurs, and we really have to find ways we can assist the entrepreneurs to keep better records, because with that they can gauge the performance of their company, and then they can build these unicorns that we all desire for them to grow into. So once again, thank you very much. for giving me this opportunity. Thanks, Norua. And thanks to our very senior master trainers, Julius Mutio. We appreciate you all. Thanks, Geoffrey. You've been an excellent moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fayo. God bless you, sir. Let me have Norua say his parting shot. Norua, if there's something that you feel you needed to say and you can see it now, kindly say it, then I'll go to Benedict and we call it a night.
Okay, okay, 2 in 1. The starting point for successful business is discovering your passion, discovering that point at which, you know, like Benedict said earlier on, not every business is ideal for everybody, all right? So I like to recommend that people should try to discover what I call the sweet spot. I actually have a mini course that is going to be free that I'm working on. When it's ready, I would forward it to you, Geoffrey, or anybody else. If you follow me on Instagram at Norua Edopolo, it's going to be a free course. I'm running it online, so you can run it. It will help you to discover, you know, the meeting point between your passion, your skill, and the opportunity in your environment. And then talking about COVID, I wanted to make a comment about that. I actually have a program also on that, how to pivot your business. The truth is, we are here today because of COVID. So what has happened to us? We've pivoted. I mean, when Geoffrey and I were speaking in Turin last year, we're talking about traveling. You remember how that I will invite him to Nigeria, he will invite me to Kenya, and we're looking at the logistics of it. Well, here we are. I mean, I'm in Kenya, literally speaking, if you like. So it is possible to pivot your business, you know, which is what people are doing anyway, but in a more structured manner. You can pivot your business to take advantage of COVID. I mean, here I am talking about free mini courses. That wasn't on my agenda a couple of months ago. I was looking for the hall, the physical participants who will make the food, etc., etc. But as a trainer, that's all history now. I mean, you take a lot not to put me in a physical classroom. You know what I mean? So I'm saying to you out there, discover your passion. Please allow yourself to be mentored. Get all the training that you can. And SIYB as a bundle is still the best. It's proven in over 100 countries. So if you want to know more about SIYB, talk to any of the people you are, you know, Geoffrey, myself, Benedict, Fayo, Julius, and we'll tell you a bit more. Thank you very much. Thank you, Geoffrey. I've enjoyed myself. It's been a wonderful. I hope we can do this again soon so that we can really enrich, you know, ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Norua. Definitely, I'm bringing you back for another discussion. It's we have to do this. Let me have Benedict and please, Norua is leaving us with, you know, his contact with us. Get in touch with him, the programs that he's doing. It's very important for us to be able, like he said, now the world has become a global village. You can learn from Norua while he's in Nigeria. You can learn from Geoffrey, from Benedict, from Joe, from Julius. Please get to know the projects, the programs that are happening. I've seen someone on Facebook Live, a bishop who is actually asking us to also connect with these programs. So check out on what is happening and benefit. Benedict, kindly, your final remarks, and then we call it a night.
Thank you, Geoffrey. I would like to say, as entrepreneurs, first of all, they have to believe 1 + 1, we can get 50 and not 2. Because if you want to beat this big fish, we need to join our hands. We need to do more commitment. We need to do more networking so that we have to believe 1 + 1, we can get 50. Because if you are still believing 1 + 1 is 2, in business, we cannot make it. In business, we need to go beyond this. And one thing for these entrepreneurs, they have to believe also, if you are taking to another level, you have been here on SMEs for over 5 years, you are in wrong business. Something must change into your life. Something must change because if you are getting to another level, to another season, you need new people, you need new connection. But some of the entrepreneurs, they have been into the same business, into the same partnership for over 10 years. Something is wrong. So we need this platform. We need to change mindset of entrepreneurs. And they have also to think where they have been through, where they are today, And what are the big picture? Do they see anything big in 2-3 years to come? From there, and with these platforms, I think we can change African mindset, and we can start a very new beginning as entrepreneurs. And last, I would like to invite all of these participants, all of the master trainers. We are going to have our business clinic TV program soon. I think in Kenya, you will see this. I don't know to Nigeria, but Kenya, I will share soon the DSTV number on how you can watch this business clinic platform. And I would like to invite all of you, GEOFFREY and other master trainers and trainers. We are going to launch this by sort of 1st August. So official invitation is coming. Thank you so much, GEOFFREY, for this platform. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Benedict. Norua was expecting to learn some Swahili from you today, but he can do that next. So we're going to continue this discussion. I want to totally appreciate all the panelists, Norua, Edopolo, Benedict, thank you, Mabella, Julius for coming through, Fayo for coming through, Joe, wisdom for your wisdom. We truly appreciate. So I'm going to ask Johnny to give, to give vote of thanks and to release the people tonight. Johnny, back to you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been awesome, 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 unbelievable. I mean, I've just learned so much, so much. I look forward to getting in on the ILO program myself. I mean, it's just seeing something else. I'm just so grateful to all of you who were able to join us, to all of you who were able to speak to us. Thank you